Oh shit, I'm live now. And guess what? You guys, look at this and listen to this conversation between two of this person. Yeah? It's about the. You listen to this.
I don't know, but they fired 200 missiles into Israel the other day, showed they can do it. They're not afraid of it. They'll do it again. This time, I think they'll come in with more missiles, better missiles. And I mean, this time they fired a whole bunch. Iranians are smart, smarter than the average dog. And I don't mean that. That was just an American saying. I'm not calling them dogs. They're smarter than the average person. They fired a whole bunch of older liquid missiles. Or you can do a cutoff, and so it stops the propulsion. And then the Iranian missiles, they separate the warhead. So now you're the Israelis, and you got your radar, and you're tracking the reorient to the little one. A lot of problems.
The one and only Scott Ritter
coming at the time, and you get the separation. And then the warheads that separate, they maneuver, they accelerate, they deploy decoys. They, I think, have designed their warhead separation moment to be at the prime intercept moment, meaning that they are deliberately, thing is they did that with their older systems. I think they fired a handful of their new weapons to hit some critical targets. But the next time around, not only will they be firing these systems, but they'll be firing even more of their indigenous systems. Yeah, you'll get one or two, but lucky hits. But initially they said that they shot down 90%, and I think I went, oh wait a minute. Now if they only fired 200, let's go maximum number 200, 180 to 200. 10% of 200 is 20. That means there are only 20 impacts, but I can count 32 at Nevatim alone. You're lying. You're lying. You're not telling the truth. And then there's another 32 at the other airfield. Oh my God, that's 64. And then there's another 32. Oh, by now we're getting close to 50% already got through. We already done the full calculation. You're lying. That's the reality. The Israelis and the Americans lied. The Iranians,
the one and only Scott Ritter,
attacked the targets they wanted to attack, achieving the results they wanted to achieve, which wasn't death and destruction, but sending a signal that the next time we do this and we put 32 missiles war plant, you only have 5 power plants in Israel. We'll take them all out. How do you generate electricity at that point in time? You don't. And then what happens when we hit all of your desalinization plants? You can't generate fresh water anymore. What happens when we blow up your gas production? The situation we're in, and the Israelis
holy fuck.
I think if the Israelis want to carry out that attack, there has to be some calculus going on that I'm not aware of. And I don't think that calculus includes Americans to protect it. We got a handful of Patriot batteries. We got a couple of Aegis ships. The ships will be sunk. The Patriot batteries will be destroyed. And Al Udeid Air Base will cease to exist. Every aircraft we have on there will be gone. And any base we go off to, whether one in Kuwait or if we flee to Saudi Arabia, we'll take those out. Iran will take those out too. And then they'll, we've got a couple thousand Americans in Iraq and Syria that are literally living hostages. At any time, the popular militias want, they can overrun these facilities. By overrun, I mean they come over the wall, they come through, and they kill, capture everybody inside. And that'll be over that quick. There's nothing that can be done to save these Americans. They're literally living hostages. And what American president wants to turn to the American people and say, well, last night, to appease the genocidal, maniacal regime in Tel Aviv, I authorized American forces to participate in a futile effort to shut down Iran's military capabilities. As a result, we've lost 10,000 dead.
Yes. Fuck that.
In an election year, on the eve of national elections, that's not a conversation the president wants to have with the American people. So, bluff this attack to get the most concessions they possibly can out of the Biden administration.
Is Iran getting prepared to? Because we've heard, it seems that there are some rumors that Iran has tested a nuclear bomb.
The problem with that test, there's two major problems with that test. IAEA inspectors from looking at centrifuge production and other things that were never part of safeguards, always part of the expanded inspection regime under the JCPOA, but the Iran nuclear deal. But the actual safeguards agreement is designed to account for the totality of nuclear material in Iran. And that safeguards agreement is still there, still in place. Inspectors are still going in, and there's been no talk about the diversion. And remember, this wouldn't be insignificant diversion. This would be a massive diversion of a particular, component. This is this 60% enriched UF6, uranium hexafluoride, that Iran has produced, ostensibly to support the production of metal fuel plates for a research reactor in Tehran. But there's more, they have more there than that. The IAEA has assessed that Iran could produce up to 3 nuclear weapons, I think by now up to 5 nuclear weapons using this material, but it would have to be diverted. So there's been no talk about massive diversions. And unless Iran had a totally secret uranium enrichment program, which is highly unlikely because of, again, the fact that the JCPOA was pretty comprehensive in tracking this kind of stuff. And even, since they've done that, you'd have to divert material. There'd have to be a whole new source of uranium dioxide and, the yellow cake and all these things. So the deepest oil well is like 7.7 miles. The idea that the Iranians are going to drill a borehole down 10 miles and put, a device down there with all the testing mechanisms and everything, and even the Ford and all that stuff. I mean, that's how can I debate that? I'm just saying that 10 miles below the surface, unprecedented, unlikely, and the lack of diversion. Iran, currently a member of the Expedient Supreme Leader on a variety of issues, said, if Israel ever attacks our nuclear infrastructure, we will have to make adjustments to our nuclear posture. The implication was that Iran would make a nuclear bomb in response. Since then, the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, or a senior member of the Revolutionary Guard, came out and said that the current policy continues to be no nuclear weapon, but we are prepared for a time when realities change and people threaten the existence of the Islamic Republic. And if that happens, we would obviously change what we're doing. I don't think the Iranians make these statements in a vacuum. I think these statements are made about the time that the former foreign minister made his statement. There was talk about Iran procuring specific components usable in a nuclear device, high explosive components.
Well, so there you have it.
We don't have IAEA inspectors monitoring Iran's explosive production capabilities, and I think Iran could very easily, a very short period of time, and I believe they already have done, assembled basically 3 to 5 nuclear devices minus the fissile material. I don't know what design they're going to.
Well, there you have it. I reckon dangerous time ahead of us. If this war is going to be happen, the price of the fuel going to be how much? You're packing on the roof. It will be really, really crazy. The price that we have to pay if war happening. I mean, if Israel bombing Iran will be, well, they will bomb their fucking oil facility, bombing their infrastructure. So basically, the price of the fuel is not about wiped out the people, but you wiped out the whole infrastructure. The water is very important. The gas. What do you go without that? You're not living. I'm in my bus at the moment. I mean, like, I reckon, I can move anytime I want, and I can. You're not trying to get away. Thank you very much. That should be it. And come here, come on.
out of touch Hollywood news
All right.
outlet is
That's
calling
it.
toxic fandom to blame fans for content. So, we have to talk about this, right?